When's the last time they hold on to the horns of the altar? I know it was last Thursday morning in this place. When ladies joined together, we could hear them outside praying, holding on to the horns of the altar. Why? Because they got to have a prayer breakthrough. They've got to have something breakthrough in their life. They can't keep going through the status quo. They've got to let go and let God be God. We've got to stop beginning to do what we want to do. We've got to hold on to what God has called us to do. If we want to see the glory of God shone all about us. God speaking to Abraham. Speaking of Abraham in Isaiah 51 and 2. He said, look unto Abraham your father. And unto Sarah that bare you, for I called him alone, and blessed him and increased him. After fasting and praying for 3 weeks, Daniel says in chapter 10 of Daniel in verse 8, he says, therefore I was left alone, and saw this great vision. And there remained no strength in me, for my comeliness was turned in me into corruption, and I retained no strength. But we look on to verse 10 and 11. And behold, a hand touched me, which sat me upon my knees, and upon the palm of my hands. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright, for unto thee am I now sent. And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. It had to take Daniel getting along with God to see something take place. It had to take Daniel getting along with God for him to be able to stand up after being spoken to by the Heavenly Father, to stand up trembling. To stand up in obedience to what God had called him to do. We find Elijah in 1 Kings 19. 4 and 5, it says, but he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, it is enough now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. And as he laid and slept under the juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him, and said unto him, arise and eat. He may have been alone, but he had to arise and eat. But then we read of the angel coming the second time. God ain't going to just let go. He's going to move until he's done with you. We find in 7 and 8, and the angel of the Lord came again the second time and touched him and said, arise and eat. Behold, the journey is too great for thee. And he arose and did eat and drink, and went into the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights, unto Horeb, the mount of God. Church of God, it takes us getting along with God for things to happen. Yes. It takes us getting away from every distraction. Excuse me. Jesus himself had to get along to see things happen. He had to get along by himself. We read many times throughout the scriptures where he went into the mountain alone. He told the disciples, hey, y'all hang back. I've got to go talk to the Father. Y'all stay back. Y'all don't come no closer. I've got to go talk to the Father. He was in the garden alone that night before his death. He didn't want no distractions getting in between him and God. But he wanted to be in obedience to God. It was worth going along through any trials and tribulations to see his glory. God told Moses that Aaron could not go this time into this mountain with him. Moses had to go alone. But Church of the Living God, we must go along into the presence of God sometimes so that we can experience his awesomeness, so that we can experience his fearfulness, so we can reverence the Lord Jesus Christ as he wants us to reverence him. As it says in Hebrews 4 and 16, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Oh, when's the last time we did it? When's the last time we did it? There is a place that we can go to. We can run to the Rock of Ages. There's a special reservation. There's plenty of room at the top of of the mountain, because very few are on the top, because many are in the valley. There's very few on top of that mountain. There's a whole lot of people in the valley. Matthew 7:14 says, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Few that be that find it. James 4:8, draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. We live in a world, in a social life, and even in the Christian life, that people are scrambled to get ahead, but few reach the top. Everybody wants to get ahead of the preacher. Everybody wants to get ahead of the youth pastor. Everybody wants to get ahead of the evangelist. They want to get ahead of the Sunday school teacher. They want to get ahead of the clerk. They want to get ahead of the women's ministry. Everybody wants to get ahead of somebody. But do they make it to the top? But do they make it to the top? I was praying the other day. When's the last time that we just stood back off for a second and watched everything going on around? Just stand off for a second and watch everything going on around us. Not just stick in here and say, man, I think I'd be better for this opportunity right now. But just stand off and say, Lord, if it be thy will, let your will be made done and accomplished. Lord, not my will, but thy will be made done. We see Jesus said, if it be thy will, let this cup pass from me. But nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. We live in a world, in a social life, even the Christian life. People want everything, but they don't want God. But Moses saw the glory of God. Even in the midst of everything going on around, he still saw the glory of God. He still seen what God had called him to do. We find that God said in Exodus 33:23, and I will take away my head, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen. If Moses would have just looked on the face of God, he would have fell dead. But when Moses left off that mountain, he had to wear a veil to be able to speak to anybody. Lord, let us get to that point in our walk with Christ that we got to put a veil over our face so that people can be able to hear the word of God preached. Let us be able to just get along with God and be able to say, Lord, it ain't all about me. Lord, it ain't about my ministry. Lord, it ain't about what you've called me to do, but Lord, it's all about you. Yes. As it says, but my face shall not be seen. My face shall not be seen. But I'll take away my head, and thou shalt see my back parts. And we were so longing. And I remember hearing Brother Kaufman use this in a message one time. He said, if you would just lay at a window where the sun's coming in and just bask there and pray for a little bit. Pray right there while that sun is hitting you in the face. You ain't got to be blinded by it, but just allow the sun to reflect upon you. Then get up. Your eyes ain't going to be the same. You're going to be seeing things in a different way because your eyes have received a light that's greater than you. When's the last time we wanted to get the light that was greater than us shining upon us so that we can see God do something mighty in us? When's the last time that we want to be able to be somewhere, no matter where it would be, and people would say, hold on, they've been in the presence of God. I need a touch of the Holy Ghost. I need something from God because I know they've been somewhere that I have not been. They've been somewhere that they've been basking in the presence of Shekinah glory of God, and they're not like nobody else, but they've got something that I desire. They've got something that I desire. Moses had to have a veil across his face so he could talk to other people. We see his glory. When we see his glory, our faces will shine. When we see the glory of God, our faces will shine for the Heavenly Father. The face of Christ in Matthew 17:2 says, and was transfigured before them, and his face is shining